Hi, this is Jennifer Veazey, and today I'm going to be talking about Kahoot and Nearpod, two really great assessment tools in the classroom. I chose these two in particular because I already use them in my classroom, and my students already are really interested in these and get really engaged when I use these for assessment purposes. There's a lot of similarities between the two. They're both organized very well in terms of the dashboard and the setup, making it very easy to use, even when you have a lot of presentations and a lot of Kahoot quizzes created. They both have those quiz features, which makes it really easy to do quick checks for understanding and also breeds a kind of competition atmosphere, which helps the students stay focused and ensuring that they're mastering those concepts. It also has a Google integration and sharing feature, which is great, not only because you can share it with your Drive and share it through any learning management systems you might have, but also because you can share it with other content teachers or in interdisciplinary ways. Our school, for example, has an academy system. So within my academy, we've got all different contents and CTAE classes, so I can share the content I've created with all of those teachers to be used. It also has already created content, which is really nice, especially if you're creating one very quickly. Almost anything you might want to assess your students on has probably already been created in some way, but you can also easily duplicate and manipulate those. You can also do these in a live setting in class in real time, which is really great for the competition. And you can also do students paced, which is really great if you're in a flipped classroom or students are absent, or if you just want to give them the presentation or the quiz as a resource for them to study. Some content, however, with both platforms is only available with a paid subscription, but the free version of both is totally adequate for your purposes. The main difference between the two really is the content and the way it's provided. Kahoot is more review centered through the quiz with multiple choice options. It's giving you pretty basic reports, and it's really best for live games. It does have the homework challenge option to where students can play it on their own, but because it's kind of a quiz show theme, it really works best with multiple people working. Nearpod, on the other hand, is more content centered. I use it in my classroom, especially when I'm introducing new content, because I can put a few slides about the content and then add in some sort of assessment, like maybe it's a collaborative feature or a quick multiple choice or a short response. And I can easily assess my students along the way as they're learning the content, while also maybe adding a quiz at the end. So Nearpod is really great for flipped classrooms because you can put all of your presentations into that platform, and then students can be ready to analyze or do a lab or whatever content it is that you're working with them on. It also, because of that variety of content, also gives much more detailed reports that are way easier to use and much more intuitive to what your students know and can do. So in looking at the actual platforms and what they look like, this is Kahoot, and this is the main dashboard. So very organized, very colorful, very easy to use. You can see how many people are playing. You can see all of your Kahoots. If you're creating a team, you can see that as well. When you're looking at the actual quizzes, they're again very easy to use, very easy to edit. All you have to do is click on the question and you can see the response. You can also change the time for how long students have to answer. The Discover tab is super easy in terms of finding other Kahoots. You just type whatever your content or topic is, and it'll pull up several options that you can duplicate or use as is. Those reports, as I said, are pretty basic. It kind of just gives you overall an overview of how students did, although with the paid version, you can get a more detailed view. In Nearpod, again, very organized, a little less colorful, more kind of minimalistic, but you can still see very easily where all of your information is and even how to get to the lesson library to find content that's already been created. You can even, with Nearpod, import things from Google Slides or do it directly in Nearpod. So some of the types of options you can do very basic, true, false, quick check, anticipation guide type questions with multiple choice. You can do short response or long response questions after a few slides. You can even do, this is one of my favorites to use, are the virtual field trips. So students are able to actually see and get more of a visual to the things you're talking about. And through that, you can use collaborative boards, which not only give students the ability to do short responses, or even images, but they can see what their peers are saying and work in collaborative groups. So a lot of content that you can add there. Again, you can do slides, you can do field trips, you can do videos, you can add web content. You can do open-ended questions, matching, quizzes. You can even do the draw it feature. So Nearpod just has a lot of different varieties of content, which make you able to differentiate a little bit better. So overall, in the classroom, you can use both of these together. You can do that quick review. You can use it as a homework practice. You can use it as a flipped classroom. Or for absent students, you can present new content in all of these ways. But you, again, can even embed Kahoot within Nearpod. It is really great for students in terms of that stimulation for your visual and auditory learners. You can do those quick checks, not for you as a teacher, but also for the students, because they can kind of measure their learning in terms of the standard and in terms of other students, which breeds that whole competition atmosphere that they really enjoy. But it also gives them the option to be student-paced so they can learn at their level, which gives you a greater benefit in terms of differentiation that you can then analyze. So overall, both Kahoot, both Nearpod, great assessment tools that each have their pros and cons, but the best thing is that they can be utilized together and even with a variety of other assessment tools, depending on your classroom, your students, what you're trying to assess, and how you want to assess it.